The date, 48 BC. Location, Pharsalus. On one side stood Pompey with his colossal army of 45,000 men, Rome's beloved hero. On the other, Julius Caesar with 22,000 starving soldiers on the verge of collapse. By all statistics, Caesar's chance of survival was zero. But Caesar had an ace up his sleeve, a devilish plan in his mind. At the battle's most critical moment, he would give his soldiers history's strangest order. Don't kill them, strike their faces. How did this command change the fate of the battle and the course of Roman history? How did Caesar trap an army twice his size with the hidden fourth line tactic? If you're ready, let's begin antiquity's greatest chess match.
This was not ordinary battle, was not border skirmish, was not raid for plunder. This was world championship. Winner takes Rome, loser vanishes from history. In one corner, Gaius Julius Caesar, age 52, conqueror of Gaul, subduer of Germania, bridge builder across Rhine, man who made Rome tremble with ambition. But now, declared traitor by Senate, outlaw, fugitive, enemy of state. His crime? Refusing to disband army, crossing Rubicon River, marching on Rome, starting civil war. Senate declared him hostis, public enemy, ordered his arrest, his execution, his erasure. In opposite corner, Gnaeus Pompeius Magnus, Pompey the Great, age 58, three-time consul, conqueror of East, clearer of Mediterranean pirates, Senate's champion, Republic's defender, legitimate, legal, righteous. But these titles concealed deeper truth. These men were not strangers, were former allies, brothers in politics, family by marriage. Caesar had married his daughter Julia to Pompey, sealed alliance with blood and vows. Julia died in childbirth 4 years ago, severing last bond, transforming friendship into hatred, politics into personal vendetta. And there was Marcus Licinius Crassus, third member of their alliance, first triumvirate, richest man in Rome, mediator, balancer. He died in Parthia 3 years ago, beheaded by enemies, gold poured down his throat in mockery of his greed. Without Julia, without Crassus, nothing remained but ambition, pride, rivalry. Two alphas in a cage too small for both. Senate feared Caesar, his popularity, his victories, his veterans who worshipped him. So they backed Pompey, gave him authority, resources, legitimacy. Pompey accepted, not from loyalty to Senate, from jealousy of Caesar. He had been Magnus the Great when Caesar was nobody. Now Caesar's fame eclipsed his. Gaul made Caesar legendary. Pompey could not tolerate it. Both knew this battle was final. No negotiation afterward, no exile, no retirement. Victor would rule Rome, rule known world. Loser would die, or flee, or face execution. Stakes could not be higher. Roman legions fighting Roman legions. Best soldiers in world destroying each other. For what? For two men's egos? For pride dressed as principle? And between them stood Pharsalus, Greek plain in Thessaly, flat, open, perfect for cavalry, perfect for mass infantry engagement, perfect for a bloodbath. Caesar arrived first, not by choice, by desperation. He had been chasing Pompey for months, across Greece, through mountain passes, along coasts, trying to force battle. Pompey kept retreating, refusing engagement, waiting for Caesar's army to starve.
Smart strategy. Caesar's supply lines were overstretched. His soldiers were hungry. Morale was dropping. Time favored Pompey. All he needed was patience. But Pompey's officers lacked patience. Young aristocrats, senators' sons, wealthy cavalry commanders. They mocked Pompey's caution, called him coward, said he prolonged war to maintain command, whispered he feared Caesar. Pride is poison, especially to proud men. Pompey could not endure mockery. So he made decision, would give battle, would crush Caesar, would prove himself. And Caesar? He knew this was chance, perhaps only chance. His army was weak, but Pompey's was confident, overconfident, and confidence creates mistakes. August 9, 48 BC, dawn. Two armies assembled on plain, 45,000 facing 22,000, nearly 2-to-1 advantage. Mathematics favored Pompey absolutely. But war is not mathematics, is psychology, is timing, is genius recognizing moment when numbers stop mattering. Caesar looked across field, saw Pompey's massive force, saw glittering armor, fresh troops, well-fed men, rested horses, then looked at his own lines, gaunt faces, worn equipment, hollow eyes, men who had marched too far, fought too long, eaten too little. But these men were his, 10th Legion, 8th Legion, 9th Legion, veterans, survivors, winners. They had conquered Gaul with him, crossed Rubicon with him, followed him into civil war knowing they might die. He walked among them, not riding, walking, eye level, touching shoulders, speaking names. Today, he said quietly, we decide everything. Win and Rome is ours. Lose and we die. But I would rather die here with you than live as Pompey's prisoner. They roared, not loud, just acknowledgement. These were professionals, did not waste energy on shouting, saved it for killing. Across field, Pompey gave a different speech about duty, about Senate, about republic, about law. His soldiers listened, politely, dutifully, but without fire. They fought for ideology. Caesar's fought for survival, and survival is stronger motivation. Trumpets sounded, standards raised, two Roman armies prepared to destroy each other. Greatest military power on earth turning weapons inward, fratricide at civilizational scale. Caesar smiled, thin, cold. He had plan, desperate plan, insane plan, a plan that would either win war or end his life. He was gambling everything on psychological warfare, on exploiting vanity, on weaponizing weakness he had already identified in enemy ranks. Those handsome young cavalry officers, sons of senators, wealthy, privileged, vain, he had watched them from distance, noticed how they polished armor, how they checked reflections in shields, how they worried about appearance. That vanity was weakness, and weakness was opportunity, and Caesar never wasted opportunity.
Caesar's soldiers were dying, not from wounds, from hunger. Slow, grinding, undramatic hunger that hollows men from inside. They had been eating grass, roots, bark stripped from trees. One centurion joked they were becoming philosophers, living on air and ideas. Nobody laughed. Jokes require energy. They had none. Campaign had lasted months, since January, chasing Pompey across Greece, through Epirus, along Adriatic coast. Every time Caesar caught up, Pompey withdrew. Smart strategy. Caesar's supply lines stretched thinner. Pompey's remained solid, backed by Senate, by eastern provinces, by grain ships from Egypt. Caesar's quartermasters reported grim numbers, rations cut to half, then quarter, then emergency portions, then scraps. Soldiers were losing weight, muscle wasting, faces becoming skulls with skin stretched over bone. One morning, Caesar inspected bread ration. Baker showed him loaf, if you could call it that. made from mixture of grain, grass seeds, and ground acorns, black, dense, bitter. Caesar tasted it, chewed slowly, swallowed without expression. "Is this worst we have?" he asked. "No, sir, this is best. Worst is, we don't speak about worst." Caesar nodded, understood. When army starts hiding food quality from commander, situation is critical. But physical hunger was manageable. Romans were tough, could endure hardship. What worried Caesar was psychological hunger, hunger for victory, for hope, for reason to keep marching.
His men were veterans. 10th Legion had fought with him in Gaul for 9 years, seen everything, survived everything. But even veterans have limits, and Caesar was testing those limits. Meanwhile, across the plain, Pompey's camp was a different world. Abundance, comfort, almost luxury. Soldiers ate proper rations, wheat bread, salted pork, wine, not vinegar water like Caesar's men, actual wine. Tents were spacious, equipment was new, morale was high. Pompey's officers lived better still. Silk tents, personal servants, gourmet meals prepared by Greek cooks. One senator brought his entire household, wife, children, furniture, as if attending festival rather than war. They held dinner parties, discussing how they would divide Caesar's possessions after victory, who would get his estates, his wealth, his former positions. Victory was assumed, just matter of details. Young cavalry officers were most confident. 7,000 horsemen, the cream of Roman aristocracy, sons of senators, wealthy equestrians, men who could afford horses, armor, weapons, who trained since childhood, who considered themselves elite. They mocked Caesar's cavalry. "He has maybe 1,000 riders," they said, "and those are Gauls and Germans, barbarians. We'll sweep them aside like insects." Their commander was Titus Labienus, Caesar's former right hand, his most trusted officer in Gaul, who had switched sides, joined Pompey, a betrayal that cut Caesar deeply. Labienus knew Caesar's tactics, his thinking, his tricks. He advised Pompey constantly, "Caesar is desperate, but desperation makes him dangerous. Don't underestimate him." Pompey listened, partially. But surrounded by confident aristocrats, Labienus's warnings seemed excessive, paranoid even. "Caesar is finished," young officers said. "Look at his army. They're skeletons. We outnumber them 2 to 1. Our cavalry is 7 times larger. This isn't battle, it's execution." Labienus wanted to disagree, but atmosphere in camp was intoxicating. Success seemed inevitable. Mathematics guaranteed it. On morning of battle, Caesar assembled his officers, core group, Antonius, Mark Antony, Brutus, Cassius, Domitius, veterans who had survived everything with him. "Gentlemen," Caesar said quietly, "we're going to lose today." Silence, shocked silence.
By every logical measure, we should lose. Pompey has more men, more cavalry, more supplies, better position. If we fight conventional battle, we die. He let that sink in, then continued. "So we won't fight conventional battle. We'll fight my battle, on my terms, using a weapon Pompey doesn't expect." "What weapon?" Antonius asked. "Their vanity," Caesar smiled, that predatory smile. "Pompey's cavalry are children playing dress-up. They're strong, yes, well-trained, yes, but they're vain, and vanity is weakness." He gestured toward enemy lines. "Those pretty boys in shining armor, they care more about their faces than victory. We're going to exploit that. We're going to turn their strength into terror." Officers looked skeptical. "How does vanity lose battles?" Caesar explained, slowly, carefully. Officers' eyes widened.
Plan was insane, completely insane. Brilliant? Maybe, but definitely insane. "Sir," Brutus said carefully, "this requires stripping infantry from main line. We're already outnumbered. Weakening line further will win war or end it. Either way, today decides everything." He stood, meeting over. "Get rest. Eat what little we have. At dawn, we teach Rome's aristocracy that wars are won by brains, not bloodlines." That night, Caesar walked through camp, alone except for single bodyguard. Soldiers were sharpening weapons, checking armor, writing letters they hoped wouldn't be final words. One young legionary, maybe 20 years old, was crying quietly, not from fear, from exhaustion, physical and emotional. 9 years of war, following a general who led them deeper into danger each time. Caesar sat beside him, said nothing, just presence. After a moment, soldier looked up, recognized who sat there, tried to stand, salute. "Stay seated," Caesar said gently. "You've earned rest." "Sir, I'm sorry, not appropriate." "You're human. Humans cry when pushed beyond limits. I've pushed you beyond limits. I know this."
Soldier wiped eyes. "Will we win tomorrow, sir?" Caesar considered. Could lie, give false hope, but this soldier deserved truth. "Honestly, I don't know. Odds are terrible. But I have plan. Strange plan. If it works, we win. If not," he shrugged, "we die well." "That's not comforting, sir." "No, but it's honest." Caesar stood, put hand on soldier's shoulder. "Get sleep. Tomorrow requires everything we have, everything we are." He walked on. Behind him, soldier felt oddly better, not because of hope, because general acknowledged reality, didn't pretend, didn't lie, treated him as equal, as human. That was Caesar's secret, not tactics, not strategy, connection. His men would die for him because he saw them, knew them, valued them. Pompey had larger army, better supplied, well rested, but did his soldiers love him? Would they die willingly for him? No. They fought for Senate, for republic, for ideology, abstract concepts. Important, yes, but abstractions don't inspire sacrifice like person does. Dawn came, August sun rising over Greek plain, 2 armies assembled, history holding breath, about to witness chess match played with human pieces. Caesar mounted horse, wore red cloak, visible to all his men, symbol, target, statement, "I'm here, with you, not hiding, not commanding from safety, here." Across field, Pompey wore purple, general's color, traditional, appropriate, but distant, commanding from position, tactically sound, emotionally cold. Trumpets sounded, battle was beginning. Soldiers gripped weapons, prepared to kill men who spoke same language, worshipped same gods, bled same red blood. Civil war is cruelest war, because enemies are brothers. Pompey's strategy was elegant, simple, certain, like crushing nut between hammer and anvil. His infantry would be anvil, 40,000 heavy infantry, legionaries, veterans, and recruits mixed. They would hold center, pin Caesar's infantry in place, lock them in grinding melee, prevent movement, prevent maneuver. Not meant to win battle, just hold, fix enemy in position, keep them occupied, keep them dying slowly. Real weapon was hammer, 7,000 cavalry, positioned on Pompey's left flank, facing Caesar's right wing, where Caesar's thin cavalry line, barely 1,000 riders, tried looking confident. Plan was obvious, logical, unstoppable. Cavalry would charge, sweep away Caesar's pathetic horsemen, then wheel right, behind Caesar's infantry, strike rear, create panic, encirclement, slaughter. Classic tactics, proven through centuries. Hannibal used similar approach at Cannae,
destroyed Roman army. This would be Cannae in reverse, Romans using Carthaginian tactics against Romans. Pompey explained plan to officers. They nodded, smiled, congratulated him on certain victory. Mathematics supported it, history supported it, logic supported it. Labienus alone showed concern. Caesar knows we have cavalry advantage. He's not stupid. He'll have counter. What counter? Young officer laughed. He has 1,000 riders. We have 7,000. 7 to 1. No tactics overcome those numbers. Caesar overcame worse odds in Gaul. Gaul was barbarians. This is Rome against Rome. Different war. Pompey raised hand, ending debate. Labienus, your concerns are noted, but plan is sound. Caesar cannot stop our cavalry, cannot prevent encirclement, cannot win. He turned to cavalry commander, wealthy senator's son, 25 years old, handsome, confident, wearing decorated armor that cost more than a legionary's annual salary. Your moment of glory, Pompey said. When infantry engages, charge, destroy Caesar's cavalry, then strike his rear, end this war. The young commander saluted, eagerly. This was opportunity, chance to be hero, to have poets write about his charge, to earn triumph, to exceed father's achievements. Behind him, 7,000 cavalry prepared. Most were like him, young aristocrats, rich, educated, trained since childhood in horsemanship and swordsmanship, elite of Roman society. They checked armor, polished helmets, adjusted plumes. Some had mirrors, checking appearance, making sure they looked heroic, because victory would be witnessed, recorded, remembered. They were Rome's finest, and they knew it. Pompey knew it. Senate knew it. Soon, everyone would know it.
Across field, Caesar watched cavalry formation, studied it, counted riders, noted their positioning, their confidence, their vanity. "They're preparing to charge our right," Antonius observed. "Obvious move." "Yes," Caesar agreed. "They'll sweep our cavalry aside, then attack our rear. Textbook tactics." "Can we stop them?" "No," Caesar smiled. "We can't stop them, but we can terrify them." He gestured toward his right flank, where his thin cavalry line waited. Behind them, hidden by cavalry formation and slight terrain rise, something else waited. Cohorts of infantry. 6 cohorts, approximately 3,000 men. Pulled from main battle line, weakening his already outnumbered center. Insane decision, except it wasn't. These infantry were special assignment, equipped differently, briefed differently, told to do something infantry never did. Hunt cavalry, not with javelins thrown from distance, but up close, personal, brutal. "When Pompey's cavalry charges," Caesar explained, "our horsemen will retreat quickly, leading enemy deep, past the rise, and when they do—" He didn't finish. Didn't need to. Officers understood. Trap was set. Question was whether enemy would take bait. They would, because pride blinds, because victory seemed certain, because nobody expects a rabbit to have teeth. Pompey's plan was perfect, proven, logical, but Caesar's plan was insane, unexpected, psychological. And in war, insanity sometimes defeats logic.
Roman infantry fought in 3 lines, triplex aces, standard formation, tested through centuries. First line, hastati, young soldiers, expendable. They engaged first, absorbed initial shock, fought until exhausted, then withdrew through gaps. Second line, principes, veterans, prime fighters. They took over when hastati tired, delivered main assault, won most battles. Third line, triarii, oldest veterans, reserve, final safeguard. Romans had saying, "It has come to the triarii," meaning desperate situation. When third line deployed, battle was critical. 3 lines, always 3. Everyone knew this. Enemies knew this, planned around this, expected this. Caesar was creating fourth line. Nobody expected fourth line because fourth line didn't exist, wasn't doctrine, wasn't tradition, wasn't Roman. But Caesar wasn't playing by Roman rules, not today. He pulled 6 cohorts from the main formation, approximately 3,000 men. These were from second and third lines, veterans, not raw recruits, men who understood orders, who improvised when needed, who wouldn't panic. Removing them created gaps, weakened center, made his already outnumbered infantry more vulnerable. Officers protested.
"Sir, we need every man in main line. Pompey outnumbers us significantly." "Pompey will win infantry battle," Caesar interrupted calmly, "if we fight conventionally. His numbers guarantee it, so we won't fight conventionally." He positioned 6 cohorts obliquely, behind his right cavalry, hidden by horsemen and terrain undulation, not visible to Pompey's forces, lying low, waiting. Their orders were specific, unusual, disturbing even. "You will not throw javelins," Caesar told them. "You will hold them like spears. When enemy cavalry charges past our retreating horsemen, you will stand, form line, and advance." Centurions looked confused. "Sir, infantry don't fight cavalry. We form square, defensive position. We don't advance against mounted troops." "You will advance directly into their charge, and you will aim your pila not at horses, at riders, specifically at their faces." Silence, shocked silence. "Their faces, sir?" "Their faces, thrust upward, target eyes, nose, mouth, cheeks. Make them think about their beautiful faces being destroyed. Make them choose between glory and scars." This was psychological warfare, not killing, disfiguring, targeting vanity, not life.
Centurions understood slowly. These aristocratic cavalry were vain, cared about appearance, about maintaining good looks for Senate meetings, for social functions, for marriage prospects. Scar across face, career ended, marriage prospects ruined, social standing damaged, forever marked. Better to die honorably than live disfigured. But given choice between charging into face-destroying pila or retreating, pride said charge, instinct said protect face. Conflict creates hesitation, hesitation creates panic, panic creates rout. "It's psychological," one centurion said slowly. "You're not trying to kill them, you're trying to terrify them." "Exactly," Caesar smiled coldly. "Their strength is pride, their weakness is vanity. We'll turn strength into weakness, use their arrogance as weapon against them." Still, risk was enormous. If plan failed, if cavalry broke through, if hidden cohorts deployed too early or too late, entire army would collapse. Center was weakened, right flank was gamble. Everything depended on timing, discipline, psychological accuracy. One mistake and Caesar would lose, army destroyed, life ended, legacy erased. But safe approach guaranteed defeat. Numbers were against him, supplies were exhausted, time was enemy. Only surprise could win, only audacity could overcome mathematics. So Caesar gambled, placed all chips on a single bet, that vanity was stronger than courage, that aristocrats valued faces more than victory, that pride could be weaponized. Insane? Perhaps, but conventional wisdom said he'd already lost. Insanity was only option remaining. Hidden cohorts took positions, checked equipment, gripped pila tightly, waited for the moment when they would stand, when they would become the fourth line, when they would teach Rome's elite that beauty is fragile and war is ugly.
Trumpets sounded. Not enemy trumpets, Roman trumpets. Same instrument, same notes, same tradition, but signaling Romans to kill Romans. Infantry lines advanced, slowly, methodically, professional. Both sides maintained formation, shields locked, swords ready, faces grim. This was not war against barbarians, not glorious conquest, was fratricide, civil war, worst kind of conflict. Soldiers recognized each other, literally. Man in Pompey's front rank had served with man in Caesar's line, same legion, years ago, before politics divided them. They made eye contact, brief, painful, then looked away. No war cries, no shouting, just grim silence broken by footsteps, armor clinking, shields bumping, heavy breathing. Distance closed, 50 meters, 40, 30. Still silent. This was wrong, felt wrong. Romans were supposed to fight together, against Gauls, against Germans, against Parthians, not against each other. But orders were orders, duty was duty. Legionaries didn't question, obeyed, advanced, prepared to kill. 20 meters, pila raised, traditional Roman opening, throw heavy javelins, disrupt enemy formation, then charge with swords. "Release!" centurions shouted. Thousands of pila launched, iron rain, but half-hearted. Many missed deliberately, others aimed low, hit shields, not bodies. Soldiers subconsciously pulling punches. Killing Romans felt wrong, fundamentally wrong. Still, some found targets. Men screamed, fell, died speaking Latin, crying for mothers with Roman names, bleeding red blood that looked identical to blood beside them. Then lines collided, shield crashed against shield, gladius thrust through gaps. Centuries of training made killing automatic, muscle memory, even when heart resisted. Fighting was vicious but strange, personal. Man stabbing opponent recognized his face, had drunk with him years ago, different posting, before civil war made them enemies. "Sorry, brother," he whispered, withdrawing bloody blade. Dying man nodded, understanding. "Not your fault. Damn politicians." This scene repeated across battlefield, thousands of personal tragedies, friends killing friends, former comrades ending each other, all because two ambitious men, Caesar and Pompey, couldn't share power. Centurions maintained discipline, press forward, don't think, just fight, because thinking was dangerous, made soldiers remember these were Romans, made them hesitate, made them weak.
Pompey's center pushed hard, numbers advantage showing. 40,000 against Caesar's weakened 15,000. Mathematics working as expected. Caesar's line bending, not breaking yet, but pressure mounting. Caesar watched from position behind lines, saw his infantry struggling, saw gaps forming. Knew center couldn't hold indefinitely. Knew conventional battle was lost. But conventional battle was distraction. Real battle would happen on flanks, with cavalry, where his insane gamble waited. He looked right, toward his cavalry, toward hidden infantry cohorts, toward psychological trap. Everything depended on next few minutes. On Pompey's left, 7,000 cavalry were mounting, checking equipment, preparing to charge, excited, confident, about to become heroes. Their commander raised sword, magnificent gesture, theatrical, perfect for stories later. For Rome, for Pompey, for glory. They cheered, roared. Unlike infantry, cavalry were enthusiastic. This was their moment, their chance, their glory. They had no idea they were riding into nightmare, into trap designed specifically for their psychology, into plan that weaponized their vanity. Caesar watched cavalry begin moving, slow trot, building to canter, building to gallop. Thunder of hooves, dust rising, magnificent and terrible. "Now," he whispered, "let's see if vanity is stronger than courage." His own cavalry prepared to retreat, not from cowardice, from plan, from bait, from invitation to doom. And behind them, hidden fourth line gripped Pila tighter, waited for signal, for moment when they would stand, when they would aim not for hearts, but for faces, when they would teach Rome's beautiful warriors that scars last forever.
Pompey's cavalry charged. 7,000 riders, thunder incarnate, ground shaking, dust cloud rising, magnificent, unstoppable, glorious. They saw Caesar's thin cavalry line, 1,000 riders, Gauls, Germans, barbarians, pathetic opposition. This would be massacre. Caesar's cavalry commander, Germanic chieftain, watched them approach, waited. Timing was everything. Too early, plan failed. Too late, everyone died. 500 meters, 400, 300. "Now!" he screamed. "Retreat fast!" Caesar's cavalry turned, fled, not fighting, just running, exactly as ordered, looking panicked, looking beaten, looking like cowards. Pompey's cavalry cheered. "They're running! Easy victory!" Young aristocratic officers grinned. This was better than expected. Easier. Glory without effort. They spurred horses faster, chasing, hunting, celebrating prematurely. 200 meters, 150, 100. Caesar's cavalry streamed past hidden position, past slight rise in terrain, past where 6 cohorts lay flat, invisible, waiting. Pompey's cavalry followed, blind with bloodlust, with victory fever, with arrogance, not watching terrain, not watching flanks, just chasing. 100 meters past the rise, deep into trap zone. "Now!" Caesar's voice cut through chaos. 3,000 infantrymen stood simultaneously, like ghosts materializing from earth, forming a line, solid, professional, blocking retreat path.
Pompey's cavalry saw them, tried stopping. Too late, too much momentum, too compressed. Horses colliding with horses, riders struggling for control. And those infantry weren't forming defensive square, weren't bracing for impact, were advancing, walking forward, pila extended, not throwing, holding like spears. "What are they doing?" Aristocratic officer shouted, confused. "Infantry don't advance against cavalry. It's insane. It's suicide." But these weren't normal infantry, were Caesar's veterans, following insane orders from insane general who somehow always won. Caesar had briefed them personally. Pompey's cavalry are children, rich children playing soldier. They care about their pretty faces more than victory, so target faces, only faces. Distance closed, cavalry trying to wheel away, but packed too tight, no room to maneuver. Some tried charging through, hoping momentum would break infantry line. Infantry didn't break, didn't flinch, just thrust pila upward, aimed high, at riders, not horses. "Faciem ferire," centurion screamed. "Strike their faces, strike their faces." Pila points found targets, not chests, not bellies, faces, eyes, cheeks, noses, jaws. Young aristocrat took pilum through the cheek, ripped sideways, teeth shattered, jaw hanging loose. He screamed, not from pain, from horror, from realization his beautiful face was destroyed.
Another took iron point through nose, cartilage split, blood pouring, face ruined forever. He dropped sword, covered face with hands, protecting what remained.
Third rider saw point coming toward eyes. Instinct overrode training. Threw hands up, protecting face, leaving body exposed. Secondary thrust took him in throat. He fell, died protecting his appearance. This wasn't normal combat, was psychological warfare, exploiting specific weakness. Aristocrats valued beauty, social standing, marriage prospects, all required intact face. Gladius through heart killed you. Pilum through face disfigured you, made you monster, made you unmarriageable, made you social pariah. Some thought disfigurement worse than death. And Caesar knew this, weaponized this, turned their vanity into terror. Cavalry panicked, not from casualties, from disfigurement, from watching comrades' faces destroyed, from imagining their own faces split open. "Retreat! Retreat!" officers screaming. But where? Infantry blocked path. Own cavalry blocked retreat. Nowhere to go. Some tried surrendering, dropping weapons, covering faces, begging. Infantry didn't stop, kept advancing, kept thrusting, kept destroying faces. Caesar's orders were clear: break them psychologically, make them run, make them spread panic. Worked perfectly. Cavalry broke, turned, fled, trampling each other, panicking, running not from death, but from disfigurement. And when cavalry runs, infantry sees, morale collapses, rout begins. Caesar's gamble was paying off, fourth line was working, vanity was weapon, and Rome's elite were learning painful lesson. Beauty is fragile, war is ugly. Pride comes before fall.
7,000 cavalry had charged, confident, glorious, unstoppable. Now, running, screaming, panicking, faces covered, terror absolute. They weren't retreating tactically, they were fleeing instinctively like animals. All formation gone, all discipline shattered, just desperate flight. But fleeing cavalry creates new problem. Where do they go? Behind them, Caesar's infantry advancing, Pila bloody, faces grim, still coming. Ahead, their own infantry, Pompey's 40,000 legionaries locked in melee with Caesar's center, dense formation, no gaps, no space. Panicked cavalry crashed into own lines, 7,000 horses stampeding into rear of own army, trampling supply troops, scattering reserves, creating chaos. Pompey's infantry turned, confused. Why was cavalry retreating? They were supposed to win, supposed to encircle Caesar. What happened? Seeing cavalry flee destroyed morale. If elite horsemen ran, battle was lost. Psychology spreading like plague. Fear is contagious. Caesar saw opportunity immediately. Fourth line, advance, roll up their flank. Those 6 cohorts didn't stop, didn't rest, pivoted, attacked Pompey's exposed left flank, where cavalry should have been protecting, now empty, vulnerable. Hit from side, infantry couldn't respond, were facing forward, fighting Caesar's center, couldn't turn without breaking formation, couldn't defend flank without abandoning front. Classic military disaster, flanked, compressed, panicking. Caesar's center, weakened, outnumbered, struggling, suddenly felt pressure ease, saw Pompey's lines wavering, saw confusion spreading. "Push!" centurions roared. "They're breaking! Push!" Exhausted legionaries found final reserves, pressed forward, not for glory, for survival, for Caesar, for each other. Pompey's infantry began collapsing, not instantly, gradually, like building with foundation removed, cracks spreading, structure failing. First, rear ranks turned, ran, then middle ranks, then front. Professional soldiers recognizing lost battle, choosing life over duty. Rout accelerated, became an avalanche. 40,000 men breaking, running, throwing away shields, discarding armor, anything to run faster. Caesar's troops pursued, not celebrating, just killing, methodically, professionally. This was work, grim work. Pompey watched from command position, face frozen, mind unable to process. Perfect plan destroyed, mathematical certainty shattered. How? "My lord!" Officer grabbed him. "We must leave, now!" Pompey didn't respond, stared at the battlefield, at his fleeing army, at his ruined reputation. "My lord, they'll capture you!" That penetrated. Capture meant execution, public humiliation. Pompey Magnus, the Great, paraded through Rome in chains. Unacceptable. He turned, walked toward horse, movements mechanical, shocked, broken. Removed his general's cloak, purple, distinctive, target. Dropped it, put on simple brown cloak, centurion's cloak, anonymous, disguised. Pompey the Great became nobody, fled battlefield like common soldier, survival over dignity. His army died without him, 15,000 killed, 24,000 captured, remainder scattered across Greece, hiding, surrendering, weeping. Caesar's casualties? 1,000 dead, maybe less, 10-to-1 ratio, impossible mathematics, but real. Battle ended by afternoon, silence falling, except for wounded, moaning, crying, dying slowly. Caesar walked battlefield, no celebration, no triumph, just sadness, looking at bodies, all Roman, all dead because of politics, because of ambition, because two men couldn't share. Found young cavalry officer, face destroyed, barely alive, covered in blood, whispering, "My face, my face." Caesar knelt. "I'm sorry." "You did this." Officer's eyes showed recognition through pain. "You knew." "I knew." Caesar stood, walked on. Behind him, officer died, last thought about his ruined beauty. That night, Caesar entered Pompey's camp, abandoned, intact. Officers had fled too quickly to destroy anything. Tables set for victory banquet, wine ready, food prepared, letters written to Senate announcing triumph, all useless now. Caesar sat in Pompey's chair, picked up unfinished letter, read Pompey's confident words about certain victory, put it down. "They forced this," he said to empty tent, to himself, to history. "I didn't want civil war. They gave no choice." Perhaps he believed it, perhaps not, but winners write justifications, losers write nothing, because losers are dead.
Pompey fled east, Egypt, where young Pharaoh Ptolemy ruled, where Pompey had connections, history, friendship with Ptolemy's father, expected sanctuary, expected help. Got betrayal instead. Ptolemy's advisors calculated coldly. Pompey was loser, Caesar was winner. Backing losers was stupid politics. Killing losers earned gratitude from winners. When Pompey's boat approached Alexandria harbor, Egyptian officials rowed out, smiling, welcoming, offering escort to palace. Pompey relaxed, thought he was safe, climbed into their boat, brought small retinue. Wife stayed on ship, watching. Boat reached shallow water. Egyptians stood, drew swords. Pompey understood. Too late. He died without fighting, stabbed in back, literally, body dumped in surf, head severed, preserved, gift for Caesar. Pompey Magnus the Great, 3-time consul, conqueror of East, Senate's champion, died in foreign boat, murdered by foreign soldiers, body left for crabs. His wife watched from ship, screaming, helpless. Guards prevented her from jumping overboard, saved her life by restraining her. Caesar arrived Egypt weeks later, pursuing, still hunting. Egyptians presented Pompey's head, proudly, expecting reward. Caesar looked at head, at face he'd known for decades. Friend, ally, rival, enemy, now just dead flesh. He wept, publicly. Genuine tears or political theater? Perhaps both. Perhaps Caesar himself didn't know.
This was not justice, he said coldly. This was murder. Pompey was Roman, deserved Roman trial, Roman execution, not foreign assassination. Egyptians realized mistake, expected gratitude, got anger. Caesar never forgave them, would later support Cleopatra against Ptolemy, revenge for Pompey's murder. Ironic, Caesar avenged enemy who tried killing him, because even enemies deserved dignity, deserved proper end, not cowardly assassination. Caesar had Pompey's head cremated, with honors, sent ashes to Pompey's widow, provided pension, protected family. Magnanimity in victory. Made him look noble, made him look merciful. Political genius. Defeated enemy on the battlefield, honored enemy after death. Won twice, through force and through forgiveness. Pharsalus changed everything. Senate's power broken, Republic's death accelerated. One man ruled Rome now, pretending otherwise, but everyone knew. Caesar became dictator, temporarily, then perpetually. Absolute power wearing Republican mask, maintaining forms while destroying substance. 4 years later, Senate would kill him. Ides of March, Brutus, Cassius, others, stabbing him 23 times in the same Senate building where Pompey's statue stood. Caesar died at Pompey's feet, symbolically, perhaps deliberately chosen by conspirators. Revenge from beyond grave. Pompey's statue witnessing Caesar's murder. History's irony. Caesar defeated Pompey in life. Pompey's monument witnessed Caesar's death. Neither man won ultimately, both destroyed by the system they fought over. But for Pharsalus itself, a lesson remained. Numbers don't guarantee victory. Size doesn't ensure success. Bigger army doesn't always win. Psychology matters. Morale matters. Leadership matters. Understanding enemy's weakness matters more than knowing their strength. Caesar won with 22,000 against 45,000, not through luck, through insight, through recognizing that aristocratic vanity was exploitable weakness. That lesson echoed through military history. Generals studied Pharsalus, analyzed, debated, tried replicating. But Caesar's genius wasn't replicable, because wasn't about tactics alone, was about knowing humans, understanding that soldiers are people. People have fears beyond death, fears of disfigurement, of humiliation, of losing what they value most. Caesar weaponized those fears, turned pride into panic, made strength into weakness, won impossible battle by fighting psychological war. Modern military academies still teach Pharsalus, still study hidden fourth line, still analyze how a commander with half enemy's numbers won decisively. Answer is simple and complex. Simple, exploit weakness. Complex, identify what enemy values more than victory. For Pompey's cavalry was their faces, their beauty, their social status. Caesar destroyed that, made them choose between glory and scars. They chose protecting faces over fighting. That choice lost battle, lost war, lost republic, all because pretty boys feared mirrors more than death.
And Caesar understood that human nature, properly exploited, defeats any numerical advantage. Numbers lie, psychology doesn't. Vanity never changes. History remembers.